Yeah, hello, my name's Adrian. And before you watch the video, I just need to share with you our compliance disclaimer. And I'd also like to share with you several abbreviations of what we use with Skyway. So firstly, we're not selling, nor are we licensed to sell shares. All countries have their own rules on the sale of financial products and will respect the laws of the land. Generally speaking, most countries allow the sale of information products without a special license. We are not selling shares. We're offering an opportunity to participate in a wealth creation education which provides the fundamental principles on which wealth is created and retained. For doing so, you receive pipes as a gift or a free bonus, pre-IPO private equity shares in Skyway technology. We do not give financial advice, and you shouldn't either unless licensed to do so in the area of residence. Only general information is given and should be noted. Please do your own due diligence or seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your area of compliance in your state or country. So thank you, that's the compliance. And I'd like to share with you some abbreviations that we use in Skyway too. So MLCI is the abbreviation for multi-level crowd investing, which is a new term that we're coining in the marketplace. EIPSs are educational information products. And PIPEs, I've already explained, pre-IPO private equity shares. And finally, IPO is an initial public offering. So I hope that helps you when you listen to the interviews and the videos that we produce here on the Skyway community. Thank you. So my name is Adrian Hanks, and I'm here to interview Stephen Gagie, who's a Skyway manager and a Skyway partner. So welcome, Stephen.
Thank you, Adrian, and hello to everyone.
Yeah. So Stephen, a few questions for you. Firstly, your first introduction to Skyway. How was it for you? How did you get involved?
Well, I came across Skyway nearly a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
At the time I was studying town planning, just started going back to uni and was studying that, and a lot of what was involved, everything in regard to that was around people movement, city planning, and the issues that we're facing today and going forward across the globe, really, in congestion of our cities. New roads can't continually be built, decentralisation of people, and how we get around that. So once I saw Skyway, I was like, far out, this is exactly everything I've been learning about. And whether it was this company or another, this was definitely the way of the future. So it was worth more of my time to investigate.
Yeah, fantastic. Sounds like it was a real fast inroad for you.
It was, yeah. I understood a lot of it, and ever since then, it's just blown my mind continually.
Yeah, great. And Stephen, of course, then you introduced me, which I'm really thankful for as well. So it's great, and we've been sharing a fair bit of the journey together. And one of the things I want to share with you, and what we share with people listening in, is you and I had the opportunity to go to Belarus in August last year. So would you like to share a little bit about the experience for the Eco-Fest in Belarus?
It was a fantastic trip, I think. It really was life-changing on many different levels, for me anyway. I know for you as well. But it was, we'd looked at a lot of YouTube videos. We've read a lot about the project. A lot of people have said, oh, yeah, but have you seen it? Is it real? Can I touch it? So we made the decision to go over there and have a look, and we were blown away. We got lucky enough to go to the Eco Techno Park, where we rode on different types of transport that we have there, the rolling stock. We saw the history in the museum. We met so many people from different parts of the world that are also on the same journey as us, and it was really fantastic. So,
of course, Anatoly was there speaking as well, which was obviously in Russian, but it was translated. And it was just great to see him and actually meet him live as well at the Eco-Fest.
It was, and then we followed up with a couple of days of conferences where we learned a little bit more about the vision, plans, where the money's going, how it's been come together, and all those things was fantastic to hear. To hear that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, it's an amazing city, isn't it, Belarus?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible. You know, we did a lot of tours around Minsk, yourself and I, and a few others. So we had an absolute ball as well. And never felt unsafe or out of our comfort zone or anything like that. And it was a wonderful experience to be over there.
Certainly a place to revisit, I think, in the near future.
Yeah. Hopefully we get back there very soon.
Yeah. And from that trip, Stephen, did it make it more real for you?
It did. You know, like as I said previously, we watched a lot of things about it and read a lot of stuff. And for us, it was fairly, you know, we were confident where it was heading and what we were doing with it. But to actually go over there and hear back from a lot of people in Australia and around the world that actually saw us there and how blown away they were by us being there, that was really cemented it for me, I think, you know, and to be able to touch it and see it and just the little things, how a lot of it worked and how it was put together, how the structures were, how they did the U-turns, the cargo was exciting to see the belts and things like that. So I know you had a few experiences.
Certainly did, and when it's tangible, isn't it? When you're actually riding in the transport as well, it makes a difference because, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there about is it a Ponzi, is it a scam, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, when you can actually touch the steel, be it there, you know, with your ski and walk on the actual site, it makes it real. And one realises it's not a scam, it's actually a real unfolding project that's happening globally.
And there's so many inside of there as well. Like we got the pick apples from the orchard that's underneath, you know, little things like that were pretty special. Yeah,
because a lot of, you know, Skyway is not just technology. There's a whole farming and the education, the space travel. There's a whole array of different things. We won't go into that today. We'll leave that for other time for we can sharing again. But just for now, we'll stick to the transport and that. And the question then moving on from that is, during this trip, we learned a lot about the different types of technology. You'd like to elaborate a little bit on the different types of technology the Skyway innovation?
Obviously there's a lot of videos out there that people can watch on that, but when we first sort of got involved, it was basically the three types of transport that we were expecting. That's what a lot of the figures were budgeted on, was the unibike, I think the unibus, and, you know, a pretty basic sort of cargo system. But already now we've got 5 different systems that are already certified and that we saw in Belarus when we were over there, the different types of track structures and rolling stock. And then there was also, as we sort of touched on, the eco-friendly, the housing. We learned about the Unimobile, the car, the electric car that's for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, that's something that really excites me. For the people watching this, go on YouTube, Unimobile, and have a look at the amazing vehicle they've built for disabled people who can go straight in their wheelchair. I mean, brilliant. It's really exciting. It's one of the projects that really excites me.
And, also, we had the drone over there. That's something that's you know, has got real world need as well. It's halfway through its production over there. It was 1.5 ton drone, 1.5 ton carrying capacity. So this was sort of created to help build the Skyway systems in uninhabitable places, and obviously there's a commercial market for that as well. So,
because when I think drone, I think like a little tiny drone, you know, flying around. And this was like a helicopter, wasn't it? You know, it was a pretty huge, big drone.
Yeah, it was.
The fact that can be manned, you know, by remote without a pilot, it's pretty amazing.
It is technology. And that carrying capacity is, you know, just makes it easier and cheaper to build the Skyway system as well.
Because some of the Skyway, as we know from the technology we've shared, it can be built pretty much anywhere in the world.
It is. It's going to be built across deserts, swamps, water, mountainous terrains that's probably inaccessible by four-wheel drive, and obviously there's got to be a lot of steel and building materials, tools. They're going to have to be brought to those areas. So that's where the drone comes in.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
It is. Definitely.
Yeah. So, Stephen, just on that, just a little bit of clarity, if you like, to share with the people watching in, is like we've spoken about the technology be a fair bit, and that's with Anatoly Yanitsky. But then there was a partnership, wasn't there, with Yanitsky, with Andrei Havato, who brought in the SWIG, the Skyway Investment Group. But you want to share a little bit of maybe the history?
Yeah, well, how they came together was obviously Anatoli's been working on the Skyway technology for near 40 years. He's been sort of putting this together, and Andre Ibrato, he's a self-made millionaire. Basically, he had what was called the Academy of Private Investor. So he used to teach people about investing and financial literacy and all those type of things. And how they came together was actually one of his students came to him with Skyway basically, and he had a list of, I think it was 5 or 7 criteria that he evaluates a company on, and he looked at it and it received 5 stars in every criteria. Yeah. So he connected with Anatoly himself, and that's where they in 2014,
yep.
October 2014.
5 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. They came to an agreement, a 20-year agreement they have at present.
Yeah.
For basically Skyway Invest Group will help fund Skyway technology, and in doing so we become co-owner of all the technology that we just spoke about, and that Skyway will continue to bring for the next 20 years. So it's a incredible partnership, and very privileged to be part of it.
Yeah, and just on that, Stephen, just to go into that with the financial education you get from SWIG, from Skyway Investment Group. I want to share a little bit about your experience about the education.
Yeah, look, it's
financial education.
I suppose people that maybe don't understand that is actually what we're purchasing. What we are is a financial education company. So that's what we're purchasing, and then for purchasing that, you are gifted equity in Skyway technology. So basically, we're teaching you how to be an investor, how to grow a portfolio. But here's a large chunk of this company to get you started while you learn. So it's a pretty special sort of combination.
Yeah, it's a great gift, isn't it? Because as you say, it is education that we're buying.
Yeah.
You know, we get the package, and then we are gifted those IPO shares, if you like, of the company, and we could become shareholders of the company. In essence, so we become partners of the company.
That's right. Yeah, and it is fantastic education as well. Like a lot of these courses used to sell for upwards of $10,000. You know, a lot of it they go into different parts of the difference between financial independence, financial freedom, different types of investments, all the I think he refers to 21 different instruments. So it's fantastic to learn those.
Yeah,
learn a lot about that.
Yeah, and some of that's online, isn't it? Some of it is live, like with the Master Profit training. There's some online now, but there's a lot of live training.
There is.
I'm actually about to step into that myself this weekend, which is really exciting to do the second part of the Master Profit. I know you've done Master Profit already.
Yes, I've done it a couple of times. Yeah, so it was. I suppose you get the grounding, the basic knowledge through the website, and then if you want to take that further, learn how to build a business, how to grow a portfolio, well, that's where the Master Profit comes in. It's a great environment to learn in.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the weekend doing Master Profit too.
Big days, but you'll enjoy it.
It'll be fantastic. So, and the thing I'd like to ask you now is, moving on from that, we went to Kuala Lumpur in February. We went to another conference. We did the one in Belarus, then we went to Kuala Lumpur for a few days, and we learned a lot there, didn't we, about the global impact that we're going to have through SWIG and the global portfolio that's being put together. Do you want to share a little bit about that global portfolio?
Yeah, look, it was, I suppose, the global portfolio. Years ago, Andre realised that there's going to be a point where Skyway is fully funded, which we're just about at now. So it was like, well, what do we do with the Skyway Investment Group then? So 5 years ago, he started a fund with $26,000, which is now, I think in February, it was valued at over $11 million, $11.5 million. So
pretty good, isn't it?
It is fantastic. So this fund has been growing in the background. So that was we didn't know very much about that. The focus had been Skyway technology and getting through the 15 stages to complete the funding for that. But it sort of came to light a little bit more about this global fund that we learned a lot more about, all the, I think the 21 instruments that they've sort of invested in.
Yeah.
Obviously, a large part of it was Skyway. There's real estate in there, there's gold mine in there, there's ATM machines, there's there's Berkshire Hathaway, there's your Visa, there's all those sort of everyday stocks that people can everyone can be involved with. But I suppose what they're sort of saying there is it's while you learn to build your own portfolio, you can be part of ours in the meantime.
Yeah, it's a great learning, isn't it?
It is,
being in there and watching that grow gives a bit of confidence as well. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and we had, was it Eagle, his name, that put the pie chart up on the screen and showed us the different segments that are in there, and he was the fund manager.
Yeah, CFO, I think, is it?
Yeah. So that was really insightful to listen to him speak.
Yeah, and also when we were in Kuala Lumpur, we learned about the new cryptocurrency, of course, the crypto unit that's come through from Skyway too. So I know, you and I both been quite excited about the journey over the last couple of months.
Yeah, it all sort of came together at once. It was a bit of a wow moment once we.
It was a while.
Yeah, it was for sure. But we've all heard about crypto, and there's a lot of good and bad things about it. But this is actually a security token, which is slightly different than a coin. So the thing I like about the security token is it's regulated. If there's anything wrong with the accountancy or the money side of it, people are held responsible. So your money's going to be looked after, and it's backed by real assets. The global fund that we just spoke about, that's what's behind this token. So it's not just thin air. People like, but I suppose the big difference, as we were just speaking before off air, is with a coin. I can just go and create the Stephen coin and write a white paper and put it out there, and then I can do whatever I want with that money. There's no risk of that happening with security tokens.
Yeah, that's what interests me. I'm not, really into the crypto world so much, but when I found it was asset based and it had that security, I thought, now I can get involved with it. It gives me security to know that it's a secure token.
And for me, the biggest part of it was, like there's a lot of these. There are other security tokens around as well, and you buy them, but you've just got to hold on to them. And how long do you hold on to them for? And how much money do you want to just put there and hope that one day it does something? Whereas this is actually going to pay us a loyalty payment, and once it is listed on the exchanges, it will be a dividend. This pays us while we hold on to it. So for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a win-win, isn't it?
It is. You're going to get paid to hold it, and then what you do with it down the track is sort of up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, Stephen, just on that, just for anybody watching in, listening in, what would you say to them about getting involved with Skyway and SWIG?
Well, obviously do your research. That's you've got to feel comfortable with your own decision, as we did. We didn't. There's a lot of information online, so take your time to sort through it and see where it's actually coming from. Obviously, like anything, you can find good and bad reviews and articles. But for me, it's a wonderful technology, one, to be involved with, and to couple that with a financial education, which we're not taught at schools. We're taught just to get a job and go down that path. But the world's a changing place over the next 5 or 10 years, and without that financial literacy and knowledge, we need to adapt to it. For our children and our families to have a future into the for the next generations, it's key. Yeah.
And I think with SWIG in particular, and Skyway and SWIG, we're not following the leaders. SWIG is the leader in developing the world on so many levels, environmentally, financially, socially. So it's a great thing to get involved with.
It is, and the whole crowdfunding thing. We haven't really spoken about that either. That's a brand new concept that hasn't been sort of taken to this level before. People have crowdfunded movies or gadgets and things, but to fund a project like this, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. It's incredible. It really is.
And it's already happening. We've got projects happening in UAE and in Russia and Malaysia potentially, and Australia potentially. So there's so many projects already in the pipeline.
That's right, and it's all been funded by people like us. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like we everyday inventors. We've just all got together and crowdfunded this project. It's,
yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it? You know, it's probably one of the biggest crowd invest projects on the planet.
It is 100%.
Yeah. So look, you know, thanks, Stephen, for your time. So anybody else, if you want any more information, a great website to go to is www.skywaycommunity.com, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon in the next interviews. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.